Before we explain anything about Earth, before origins, hierarchies, deviations, or experiments, we begin where truth always begins, with what you already feel.
You do not need belief for this. You do not need theory. You do not need cosmology. You need only to notice. There is a weight to being here, not just physical gravity, but existential gravity, a density that presses inward even during calm moments, a subtle seriousness beneath ordinary life, a sense that things matter here in a way that is difficult to articulate. Most people learn to ignore this sensation. They label it stress, they call it adulthood, they medicate it, distract it, or drown it in noise. But some never fully forget it. They feel it late at night when the world quiets. They feel it when beauty appears alongside suffering instead of replacing it. They feel it when joy arrives, but carries an undertone of fragility. They feel it as homesickness for something they cannot name. This heaviness is not psychological error. It is not personal inadequacy. It is not spiritual failure. It is environmental. Earth exerts pressure. Not metaphorical pressure, developmental pressure. The kind of pressure that does not crush indiscriminately, but refines selectively. You can sense this pressure in your body, in the way vigilance never completely shuts off, in the way responsibility seems built into the air, in the way choices feel weighted, even when they appear small. This is not universal across inhabited worlds. It is specific, and it is intentional. Many people assume that awakening begins when the mind receives new information. That assumption is why so many fracture. On this world, awakening begins when the body recognizes its environment. Because this world was not designed to feel light. It was designed to feel real. The density you experience is not evidence of abandonment. It is evidence of purpose. Earth is a world where consequences matter, where time stretches long enough for cause and effect to mature, where mistakes cannot be undone instantly, where goodness must persist without immediate reinforcement. This creates a particular internal climate, a seriousness that lives beneath play, a moral tension that accompanies freedom, a sense that life is asking something of you, even when nothing obvious is happening. That question, the one you feel but cannot fully phrase, is the experiment making contact. Look at human history, not just wars and disasters, but the depth of literature, art, philosophy, longing. Notice how often humans ask not how to survive, but why. Notice how early children ask questions that unsettle adults, questions about fairness, about death, about meaning. That intensity does not arise accidentally. It arises when consciousness develops inside a field that refuses to be shallow. Earth is such a field. This planet does not soothe beings into growth. It confronts them with reality and lets them choose who they will become in response. This is why apathy feels wrong here, why indifference eventually collapses inward, why comfort alone never satisfies. You are not restless because you are defective. You are restless because you are adapted for significance. There are worlds where life unfolds with clearer guidance, where moral signals are stronger, where evolutionary paths are smoother. Those worlds produce stable beings, harmonious beings, content beings. They do not produce beings with Earth's depth. Depth requires contrast. Contrast requires tension. Tension requires pressure. Earth was chosen because it could sustain that pressure without collapsing entirely. A thinner biosphere, active tectonics, an unstable climate history, a long evolutionary timeline marked by resets and recoveries. This is not chaos, it is curriculum. The heaviness you feel is not punishment. It is the cost of freedom unfolding without constant supervision. You were taught that Earth is ordinary. That narrative is comforting. It allows suffering to be dismissed as meaningless. It allows difficulty to be framed as accident. But comfort is not always aligned with truth. Earth is not ordinary. It is extreme. Extreme in contrast, extreme in consequence, extreme in moral demand. That is why beings here ask questions others never need to ask. That is why love here carries risk, why trust costs something, why goodness must be chosen repeatedly instead of assumed. This planet is not built to protect you from choice. It is built to force it. The weight you feel is not something to escape. It is something to understand. Because once understood, it stops feeling like a burden and starts functioning like orientation. You are not lost. You are inside a world that refuses to let growth remain theoretical. And that is why this story must be told carefully. Not from speculation, not from fantasy, but from the architecture that made such a world possible.
Before we examine how Earth was built, we must recognize why it feels the way it does.
Because the sensation came first, understanding comes second. Now that you are oriented, we can proceed. A planet forged in instability. To understand why Earth feels the way it does, you must first understand how it was formed. Not symbolically, not mythologically, but structurally. Earth was not shaped as a sanctuary. It was shaped as a workshop. Long before life appeared, long before oceans settled into rhythm, this planet was already extreme. Its birth did not occur in calm sequence. It emerged from violence. Heavy elements, carbon, iron, oxygen, were not native to quiet space. They were forged in stellar collapse, expelled through explosions that ended earlier suns. Earth is made of remnants. That matters. This planet carries within it the residue of destruction converted into structure. From the beginning, Earth was a place where endings became foundations. When gravity gathered the debris that would become your world, it did so without elegance. Matter collided. Heat accumulated. Pressure escalated. The early Earth was molten, its surface a continuous ocean of fire. Radioactive decay and relentless impacts prevented stability for hundreds of millions of years. This was not inefficiency. It was calibration. Only under such conditions could density be achieved without brittleness. Then came the collision that defined everything. A planetary body, nearly the size of Mars, intersected Earth's orbit and struck it at an oblique angle. The impact did not destroy Earth. It reconfigured it. Material was ejected into orbit and later formed the Moon. The collision accelerated Earth's rotation. It tilted the planet's axis. This tilt created seasons. The faster rotation created balanced day-night cycles. The Moon stabilized Earth's axial wobble, preventing extreme climate swings. Without this collision, complex life would not have persisted. What appears catastrophic was essential. This is a recurring pattern. Earth does not avoid disruption. It integrates it. For hundreds of millions of years afterward, the planet endured constant bombardment. Comets delivered water, asteroids delivered organic compounds. Oceans formed not because Earth was gentle, but because it could endure repeated trauma without losing coherence. Most planets cannot. Earth can. Its interior remained active. Mantle convection initiated plate tectonics, an exceedingly rare planetary feature. These moving plates recycle carbon, regulate climate, and prevent stagnation. Stagnation kills complexity. Earth does not stagnate. Life emerged slowly, not as a miracle, as persistence. Single-celled organisms adapted to heat, radiation, toxicity. They transformed the atmosphere by producing oxygen, poisoning themselves in the process. Again, transformation through cost. Multicellular life followed, then diversity, and then reset, mass extinction. 5 times, Earth nearly erased its biological progress. Asteroid impacts, volcanic winters, climate collapse. Each time, life returned more complex than before. This is not randomness. This is selective pressure. Earth trains systems to recover, adapt, and reorganize after collapse. This is the environment in which consciousness eventually arose. By the time human beings appeared, Earth had already perfected instability as a developmental tool. Climate varied. Resources were unevenly distributed. Survival demanded cooperation, creativity, foresight. Human cognition evolved not in safety, but in uncertainty. Your ancestors did not inherit a world that explained itself. They inherited a world that demanded interpretation. This shaped your nervous system. It trained your mind to detect patterns, infer meaning, anticipate consequences. It also trained fear. That fear is not a flaw. It is a feature of a system designed to produce discernment. Contrast this with worlds designed for gentler evolution. On such worlds, planetary systems are quieter. Climate variation is mild. Geological instability is limited. Life unfolds with less interruption. These worlds produce stable civilizations. They do not produce beings capable of operating under ambiguity. Earth does. Because Earth was selected to host a particular type of developmental scenario. One where free will unfolds without constant correction. Where guidance exists but does not dominate perception. Where beings must decide without certainty. This requires a planet that mirrors those conditions. Unstable, complex, consequential. You can feel this planetary inheritance in yourself, in the way your mind seeks patterns even where none are obvious, in the discomfort you feel with moral ambiguity, in your desire for explanations that go deeper than surface answers. You are the product of a world that never simplified itself for you. Earth does not explain itself. It forces interpretation. This is why simplistic philosophies fail here, why reductionism feels insufficient, why belief systems fracture under pressure. They cannot hold the weight of this environment. Earth demands frameworks that integrate contradiction. This is why the planet feels dangerous, not because it is malicious, but because it refuses to remove consequence. Danger creates seriousness. Seriousness creates responsibility. Responsibility creates depth. Depth is the objective. Earth was not designed to produce comfort. It was designed to produce capacity. The kind of capacity that allows beings to carry truth without collapsing under it. This is why Earth could never be gentle. Gentleness would have undermined the experiment. When you feel overwhelmed by the world's instability, you are not failing. You are encountering the training conditions directly. The question is not how to escape them. The question is how to operate coherently within them. That is the subject of the experiment itself. And now that you understand how the planet was formed, you are ready to understand why it was chosen. The experiment no other world was asked to run. Now we can speak plainly. Earth is not simply a difficult planet. It is a deliberate test environment. Not a punishment zone, not an exile, not a cosmic mistake, an experiment. Across inhabited worlds, evolution follows many patterns. Some emphasize harmony, some emphasize efficiency, some emphasize stability. Earth emphasizes choice, not symbolic choice, not theoretical choice, but lived choice under conditions where outcomes matter and guidance is partial. This distinction is critical. On most worlds, moral signals are clearer. Right action is reinforced quickly. Error is corrected early. Social structures support alignment before deviation hardens. Those worlds produce reliable goodness. Earth was designed to produce authentic goodness. There is a difference. Authentic goodness cannot be programmed. It cannot be inherited automatically. It cannot be sustained by fear of consequence alone. It must be chosen repeatedly in conditions where alternatives are real and the cost of choosing well is tangible. Earth supplies those conditions. Here, free will is granted early and exercised often. Here, consequences unfold slowly and unevenly. Here, clarity is earned, not issued. This creates risk. Risk is not a flaw in the design. Risk is the design. Consider what it means to choose ethically on this planet. You are rarely certain. Motives are mixed, outcomes are delayed, information is incomplete. You act anyway. That act shapes you. Not because the universe rewards you immediately, but because the choice reorganizes your inner structure. Over time, repeated choices under uncertainty form something rare: moral gravity. The ability to orient toward coherence without external enforcement. This quality cannot develop in protected environments. It requires exposure. This is why Earth's experiment is considered dangerous. Not because the planet itself is hostile, but because free will exercised under ambiguity can diverge dramatically. Civilizations here can grow luminous or destructive. Individuals can integrate deeply or fragment severely. There is no automatic safeguard. That is intentional. Safeguards limit depth. Earth trades safety for potential. You can see this in human history. Brilliance and brutality emerge side by side. Compassion and cruelty share the same century. Innovation accelerates alongside destruction. This is not evidence of failure. It is evidence of unfiltered freedom. The experiment does not guarantee outcomes. It observes development. What matters is not whether beings err. Error is expected. What matters is whether beings learn to self-correct without coercion. That capacity is exceedingly rare. Earth's design includes several reinforcing elements. First, moral ambiguity. Right action is rarely obvious. Cultural narratives conflict. Authority structures contradict one another. This forces discernment to develop internally. Second, temporal consequence. Actions do not resolve immediately. Their effects ripple across years, generations, ecosystems. This trains foresight and responsibility. Third, experiential isolation. Guidance exists, but it does not overwhelm perception. Individuals feel alone with their choices. This strengthens inner authority. Fourth, emotional contrast. Love is intense because loss is possible. Joy is sharp because suffering is real. This expands emotional range. Together, these conditions create a crucible, not for perfection, for integration. Most worlds do not require this. They do not need beings capable of operating under sustained ambiguity. They do not need beings who can hold paradox without collapse. Earth does, because Earth is not an endpoint. It is a forge. This is why the experiment cannot be explained casually. Without context, it sounds cruel. Without structure, it sounds random. But once understood, it reframes everything. Difficulty becomes developmental. Suffering becomes informational. Choice becomes sacred. Not because pain is glorified, but because it is utilized. This does not excuse harm. It does not justify injustice. It does not minimize grief. Those responses are part of the experiment as well. A world that teaches love under pressure must also teach empathy through exposure. Earth does not numb beings to pain. It exposes them to it, and then waits to see what they do next. This is where many misunderstand the design. They assume that because suffering exists, the system must be indifferent. But indifference would require disengagement. Earth is not disengaged, it is non-interventionist. There is a difference. Intervention limits freedom. Non-intervention preserves it. Earth preserves freedom at great cost. You feel this cost internally, in the weight of responsibility you did not ask for, in the sense that your choices matter more than you were prepared for, in the discomfort of realizing that no one will save you from becoming who you are becoming. That discomfort is not abandonment. It is the condition of authentic agency. This experiment does not require belief. It requires participation. Every time you choose honesty when deception would benefit you, you advance the experiment. Every time you choose compassion when indifference would protect you, you advance the experiment. Every time you choose restraint when aggression would empower you, you advance the experiment. These choices are observed not for judgment but for understanding. They reveal what kind of being emerges when freedom is real. This is why Earth feels intense. It is not because you are failing to cope. It is because you are operating inside a system that does not shield you from consequence. That system was chosen deliberately, and now, knowing this, the question shifts. Not why is Earth so hard, but what kind of being is this difficulty meant to shape? To answer that, we must examine why this planet was chosen when others were not, the kind of being Earth was meant to produce. Earth was not chosen because it was promising. It was chosen because it was unstable enough to be meaningful. From an administrative perspective, this planet carried unacceptable risk. Slow development, high attrition, long recovery cycles, moral volatility. By conventional standards, it was inefficient. But efficiency was never the objective. Depth was. Most worlds are optimized for continuity. Civilizations rise steadily. Ethical norms stabilize early. Social cohesion forms before divergence becomes dangerous. These worlds produce beings who function well within order. Earth was designed to produce beings who can restore order from within disorder. That difference matters? Because harmony that has never been threatened does not know how to reassemble itself. Earth teaches reconstruction. The primary yield of this world is not intelligence. It is not creativity. It is not technological innovation. Those emerge incidentally. The primary yield is character under pressure. Character is not morality. It is not rule following. It is not obedience. Character is coherence sustained when alignment is costly. This cannot be simulated. It must be lived. On Earth, courage is not abstract. It appears when fear is reasonable. Empathy is not theoretical. It develops when pain is familiar. Integrity is not automatic. It is forged when compromise would be rewarded. Earth places beings in situations where values conflict, where no choice preserves innocence, where every option costs something. This produces discernment. Discernment is rare. Discernment is the ability to act wisely without requiring certainty. Most worlds do not need this capacity. Earth does. Because Earth's environment requires beings to become their own stabilizing force. External authority cannot scale indefinitely here. Internal authority must develop. This is why Earth's timeline is long. Evolution here is slow not because it is failing, but because integration takes time. Beings are not rushed through moral development. They are allowed to struggle with it. This creates variance. Some fragment, some stagnate, some deepen. That variance is observed. Not judged, observed, because the value lies in understanding what conditions produce which outcomes. There is another reason this world was chosen. Earth produces beings who understand loss. Loss of safety, loss of certainty, loss of innocence, loss of loved ones. Loss is not universal across worlds. Many civilizations do not experience death the way humans do. They do not encounter extinction the way Earth has. They do not face the same existential finality. Earth compresses impermanence into awareness. This teaches appreciation, urgency, presence. It also teaches grief. Grief is not weakness. Grief is the price of attachment in a world where attachment is meaningful. Beings who have grieved deeply do not approach existence casually. They carry gravity. That gravity stabilizes systems far beyond this planet. This is why Earth's graduates are rare, not because Earth produces fewer beings, but because Earth produces beings slowly. And when they emerge with coherence intact, they carry capacities that cannot be trained elsewhere. Earth also teaches responsibility without supervision. There is no visible overseer correcting behavior in real time. no unmistakable intervention that resolves ambiguity. This absence is deliberate. It allows beings to develop ethical self-regulation, to choose restraint without fear of punishment, to choose compassion without expectation of reward. This is the highest form of moral agency. The risk, of course, is deviation. Freedom without maturity can distort. Power without wisdom can corrupt. Earth accepts this risk because the alternative, a universe populated by beings who behave well only under surveillance, is unsustainable. Earth tests whether freedom can eventually regulate itself. This is why the planet feels unfinished, because it is. Earth is not a failed paradise. It is a work in progress, operating under unusually permissive conditions. Your discomfort with the world is not evidence of dysfunction. It is evidence of awareness. You can sense that something is still forming, and you are part of that formation. This brings us to the most personal dimension of the experiment. Why you feel this story. Why it resonates instead of sounding theoretical. Why something in you recognizes it. Because Earth's experiment is not abstract, it is embodied. And you are one of its data points. Your role in this experiment. If Earth's design were merely theoretical, this story would remain distant. But it doesn't. It feels personal. That is because the experiment does not operate on populations alone. It operates on individuals, on you. There is a reason some people feel out of sync with this world, not superior to it, not detached from it, but misaligned with its prevailing rhythms. They move through systems that feel hollow. They sense that social incentives reward performance over integrity. They notice that efficiency is often valued more than wisdom. They feel friction where others feel comfort. This is not arrogance. It is sensitivity to structure. Earth does not ask all beings to play the same role. Some are here to maintain continuity. Some are here to explore possibility. Some are here to absorb pressure and transmute it. The latter group often experiences friction early. If you have ever felt that success alone would not satisfy you, if achievement without meaning felt empty, if you sensed that something essential was missing even when life appeared functional, that is not restlessness. It is calibration. You are responding to a deeper orientation than cultural scripts provide. Many mistake this sensation for rebellion. It is not. Rebellion resists structure. What you feel is resistance to misalignment. There is a difference. Earth contains systems that are provisional. Economic models, political arrangements, social hierarchies. They are necessary scaffolding, not final architecture. Some people can live comfortably within scaffolding, others cannot. Those who cannot often feel displaced. Not because they reject order, but because they sense that current order is incomplete. This incompleteness creates tension. That tension manifests internally as questioning. Why does this matter? Why is this rewarded? Why does this feel wrong, even when it works? These questions are not distractions. They are indicators of developmental readiness. Earth's experiment requires individuals who can detect misalignment before it collapses into crisis. Such individuals often feel unnecessary, disruptive, or impractical. They are none of those things. They are early sensors. Your role is not to withdraw from the world, nor is it to dominate it. Your role is to stabilize coherence where it is fragile. Sometimes this happens quietly, through ethical consistency when compromise is normal, through patience when reaction is rewarded, through clarity when confusion spreads easily. These acts rarely receive applause. They are not dramatic. They are effective. Earth does not require heroes in the mythic sense. It requires anchors. People whose internal alignment does not fluctuate wildly with circumstance. People who can hold tension without exporting it. People who do not confuse intensity with truth. This capacity is developed, not bestowed. It emerges through lived pressure. This is why Earth often feels lonely. Because stabilizers are not always recognized by the systems they stabilize. They operate beneath visibility. They absorb noise. They regulate conflict. They reduce harm through presence rather than force. This can feel thankless, but it is essential. If you feel drawn to understanding rather than belief, if slogans no longer satisfy you, if certainty feels less important than clarity, that is not spiritual fatigue. It is maturation. Earth produces beings who eventually outgrow simplistic narratives. Those beings must then learn how to live without them, without becoming cynical or detached. This is one of the hardest phases of the experiment. You are not meant to abandon meaning. You are meant to rebuild it consciously, without borrowed authority, without inherited dogma, without fear-based compliance. This is why the experiment grants long lifespans relative to early development. It allows beings to pass through stages: dependence, rebellion, disillusionment, reconstruction. Not everyone completes the sequence. Those who do carry something rare. You may recognize this in your own life. Early certainty gives way to doubt. Doubt gives way to questioning. Questioning eventually demands integration. If you stop at doubt, the world feels meaningless. If you move through it, the world becomes intelligible again, but differently than before. This is not regression. It is advancement. Earth is not trying to make you comfortable, it is trying to make you capable. Capable of choosing coherence without reinforcement. Capable of holding complexity without fragmentation. Capable of acting ethically without certainty of outcome. This is what the experiment requires. You are not here to blend into the noise. You are here to refine signal. That refinement often feels isolating. But isolation is not the end state. It is the pressure phase. Integration follows. To reach that integration, you must learn how to live inside this environment without being destabilized by it. That is not accomplished through belief. It is accomplished through practice. Which brings us to the final phase of this episode: how to live inside the pressure without breaking. If this episode has done its work correctly, you do not feel elevated. You feel steadied. Elevation excites. Stabilization organizes. Earth does not need more excited minds. It needs coherent ones. The danger of a world like this is not ignorance. It is destabilized awareness. Insight without integration fragments identity. Truth without grounding produces disorientation. Awakening without structure becomes volatility. That is why this episode does not end with revelation. It ends with orientation. Living on Earth requires learning how to remain intact inside a system that constantly applies pressure. This is not accomplished through withdrawal. It is not accomplished through transcendence. It is not accomplished through denial. It is accomplished through embodiment. The first practice is simple: presence before interpretation. Before you explain your experience, you feel it. Before you judge your reaction, you observe it. Before you seek meaning, you stabilize sensation. This returns authority to the correct layer. Place your attention briefly on your breath. Not to control it, not to improve it, just to notice it. Notice that the body continues whether or not the mind is certain. This is not trivial, it is foundational. Earth trains beings to mistake mental activity for leadership. But the body existed long before your theories. It carries evolutionary intelligence. It registers coherence and incoherence immediately. When something is aligned, the body softens. When something is misaligned, it tightens. This is not mysticism. It is instrumentation. The second practice is restraint. Not suppression. Restraint. On Earth, reaction is always available. Anger, defensiveness, withdrawal, dominance. These reactions relieve pressure temporarily. They do not resolve it. Restraint allows pressure to pass through you without being discharged destructively. This is one of the rarest capacities this planet produces. When you feel the urge to react, pause. Not dramatically, briefly, Let the nervous system register the impulse without obeying it. This is how inner authority forms. Not by force, by choice. The third practice is responsibility without burden. Earth often teaches responsibility as weight, duty, obligation, guilt. This collapses beings. True responsibility is orientation toward consequence. You act with awareness of impact, not fear of punishment. This requires maturity. You begin to ask different questions. Not, what do I get from this? But what does this create downstream? Not, is this allowed? But is this coherent? Not, will I be rewarded? But can I live with this alignment? These questions stabilize systems. The fourth practice is humility without diminishment. Earth humbles beings early. Failure, loss, limitation. Many mistake humility for smallness. It is not. Humility is accurate self-location. You understand your scale without collapsing your significance. You are neither the center of the universe nor irrelevant to it. You are a participant. This balance allows engagement without arrogance and service without self-erasure. Earth requires this balance, because extremes destabilize the experiment. The fifth practice is patience with process. Earth's timelines are long. Integration is slow. Insight may arrive suddenly. Coherence develops gradually. This frustrates many. They expect resolution where only development is available. Patience is not passivity. It is alignment with reality. Beings who rush integration fragment. Beings who endure it deepen. This is why Earth does not reward haste. It rewards continuity. When these practices converge, something shifts. The world does not become easier, but it becomes intelligible. Pressure no longer feels arbitrary. Difficulty no longer feels meaningless. You stop asking why Earth is so hard and begin asking what it is asking of you. This is not surrender. It is engagement at the correct level. Earth does not want obedience. It wants participation with clarity. At this stage, many experience a quiet realization. The heaviness never fully disappears, but it reorganizes. It becomes ballast instead of burden. It grounds rather than crushes. This is the mark of integration. You are no longer trying to escape the world. You are no longer trying to dominate it. You are learning how to carry it. That is the purpose of this experiment. And now we arrive at the seal. Not a conclusion, a recognition. The initiation seal. This episode did not arrive to persuade you. It arrived to orient you. If something inside you has gone quiet rather than louder, if the weight you carry feels less confusing even if it remains heavy, if Earth no longer feels random but unfinished, then this was not information. It was recognition. Earth does not awaken beings through certainty. It awakens them through pressure that eventually becomes intelligible. Those who awaken here do not escape the world. They understand why they are in it. Not everyone is. And that is correct. If recognition occurred, seal it. Not as belief, not as agreement, as orientation. In the comments, type, "I awaken." That declaration is not symbolic. It is positional. Once made, the experiment continues differently. With awareness, with responsibility, with coherence. Earth's real origin story is not about how the planet was formed. It is about why you were formed here.